Well, hello there guys, Bruce City Rider here, back in the BCR garage with a little bike maintenance today. If you saw my last video, I was discussing Harley replacement batteries. Well, my battery came in today. I had ordered it on Monday morning and it came in today, Wednesday afternoon. I did end up going with the Renegade Wicked Start 30 amp 600 cold cranking amp battery. So checked YouTube, and I saw there really wasn't a whole lot on there as far as replacing batteries on a pre-Rushmore, pre-M8 bike. This is a 2013 Road Glide Custom. So I thought I'd record this for you. Hope it helps somebody. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, so I've changed many a battery in my prior bikes, including my 1988 Softail Custom, which are very simple. You just simply remove the seat and you have access to the battery. You just unhook the cables and swap it out, pretty much. I've never changed a battery on this bike, so you'll be coming along watching me do it for the first time. So first thing I'm going to do is open up my saddlebag lid, and we have to remove this seat strap. So that's just a Phillips screwdriver, and you just remove this screw right here, and then the strap just slides out of this slot. And just set that over the other saddlebag. Now you can close up your saddlebag lid. Okay, now we remove the rear seat. And that's just a one Phillips screw right behind the seat here. So that's just a screw with a lock washer on it. Set that aside. Okay, then the seat just lifts up, and then there's a tongue that slides in a bracket right here. Basically, you just slide that right out. Just scooch it back. Yep, comes right out. There we go. That is one dirty fender. I'm going to clean that while I got the seat off. Okay, with the seat off, that's going to reveal our ECM, our electronic control module. And it looks like it's got a placeholder here and two clips. So I believe these just bend back. You just lift that up over that clip and then bend that one back and then slide it out from underneath this guy right here and carefully move that off to the side. Now we've got our security system antenna right here. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way. I believe this just slides forward, or to the side I should say. Nope, it goes back. It slides back onto this little plastic placeholder. Yeah. So it slides, the antenna slides this way. So now that's off. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this tab underneath the seat tab right there. And that should hold it, hopefully. One more item to remove before we can take this bracket off. This battery hold down bracket. Okay, that's this little clip right here. I believe they call this the purge solenoid. Let's see. Sorry, my hands are in the way, but okay, that just unclips right there. And just try to tuck that out of the way. Alright, so now we can take off our battery hold down. So, looks like you can use a Torx bit or a 1/2 inch ratchet. I'm going to see what I got and I'll be right back. And by the way, once again, I'm trying to use all the tools in my toolkit that I carry on my bike. That way, if I am missing a tool I need, this will help me point that out and identify. So I did have all this on my bike. I got my 3/8 inch ratchet. I got about a 2-inch extension, and I do have a 1/2 inch socket. Alright, I'll break these loose. They're not on very tight because it's just a plastic bracket. Got to be careful for your air shock hose because it's very close to these bolts here. So it looks like it's a bolt and a washer. So take them out, careful not to drop them down your bike. Okay, now we got to get this bracket off. So I'm just lifting, and I think we have to go forward with it. Alright. It'll be easier the next time now that I see how it goes. So, let's see if I can show you this here. So right down here, there's a metal bracket, which goes right in there. So what you got to do is you got to go forward, putting the lip of the bracket right there, and then you got to come up. And of course all these wires are getting in your way. So you just got to kind of finagle it and pop it up. Alright, now that reveals our battery and our terminals. So I'm going to remove the negative side first, the black cable. Okay, that's the lead for my battery tender cable. Okay, I carry some electrical tape in my wind zone kit on my bike. So I'm just going to tape these up so I don't lose this down in my bike somewhere. There we go. And now I'll work on the positive side. Alright, so this lead broke off this red wire, which I'm assuming is from my battery tender cable. That's not uncommon. These things are pretty frail. I've had this happen to me before. Alright, well, let me get this battery out of here. So Harley gives you a strap that goes underneath the battery to help you start lifting it up. And mine just broke. I think that's a rather common thing. It's just a cheap nylon strap. So I'll have to use somehow get my fingers in there and start pulling up. There we go. Yeah. All right. That's one 5-year-old battery removed. And for those that are interested, it's a 405 cold cranking amp, 28 amp hour battery. I'm replacing that with a 600 cold cranking amp, 30 amp hour battery. Okay guys, it's the next day. When I had taken off my battery terminal screws, one of my ring terminals had broken off. And as it turns out, it was from one of my accessories, the Harley-Davidson LED light kit. And it has a real thin, frail ring terminal. So anyway, when I loosened the nut, it just cracked right off. So anyway, I had to find a ring terminal that was big enough for the battery screw. The one that was on there had a 18 AWG wire on it, and anything with a wire that small had a real tiny ring terminal. So I had to go up a couple sizes to get a opening big enough, and then that forced me to get a new inline fuse to mate up with the ring terminal. And anyway, I got everything all crimped, shrink wrapped, and taped as needed, and it should be good to go. So I'll just set that off to the side. All right, well, it's time to put the battery in. Make sure if you got a strap that you pull it up. Okay, here's the battery, the Renegade Wicked Start. It's the exact same size as the OEM battery that I took out. So it'll drop right in. There she goes. Perfect fit. Okay, so I took the tape off my positive cables. Got the battery cable, the charging harness, and now I'm going to add the new LED accent lighting ring terminal. Alright, now hopefully I won't drop the screw. Okay, I'm just routing the cables the way I want them. That all looks good. And now I'll just snug them up. Okay, you want them snug but not too tight. Alright, I tend to over tighten things, so I always got to be real careful. Okay, now it's time for the hold down bracket. The silver bracket here goes through this hole. You slide it in and then pull it back. You just got to be careful not to pinch any wires. Oh, I got to go more forward. Under. Getting close. And she's in. Okay, now we'll replace the two bolts for the hold down bracket. And these are just plastic, so don't crank them down. Just get them snug. Okay, now don't forget to put your purge solenoid back in. There's a rubber boot that stays attached to this hold down bracket. So I had it tucked away right here. And it just clips in to this rubber boot. Just like that. And now I got my security system antenna taped up here out of the way, and this just slides back into its home on this piece right here, which is attached to the hold down bracket. And just like that, she slides right on. Okay, that's on. Next, put the ECM back. Just carefully lay it down. There's a clip on each side, and then it goes underneath this clip in the front. So get it underneath. Get it nice and straight all the way up. And she's in. Alright, I had cleaned up this area, cleaned up the fender real good, and everything's all attached. My wires are all routed the way I want, and now I'm going to put the seat back on. So you put this, you take this opening here and you slide it onto this bracket here. sure it gets in there. You just give it a little push there. Scooch it forward a little bit until your chrome bracket attached to the seat goes over the opening for the seat bolt. Kind of pull up on the front, make sure it's attached. Everything looks good. Now you take your seat hold down screw with the lock washer on it, right there, and start threading it in. Okay, and then snug it up with your Phillips screwdriver. Don't have to gorilla arm it, just snug it up. The seat's on. And the last thing is to put the strap back over the seat. So you got to open up your saddlebag lid. I've seen some guys that take the saddlebag off, but there is no reason to do that. Just open the lid and you got full access. So you take the end of your strap and you put it through the slot, just like that. Then you take your screw with a lock washer and a flat washer and you feed it through. The nut stays attached to the bracket on the back side. Okay, snug that up. Close your saddlebag lid. And that's it, guys. I'm not going to start it because I want to put it on my tender and make sure it's got a full charge. But I'm going to show you something. I just thought of it. Renegade Battery sent me a battery test report. They test all their batteries before they leave their warehouse. And I don't know if you can see that. Test report, battery, rated 600 cold cranking amps, measured 643 cold cranking amps, and it was 13 volts, state of health 100%, state of charge 100%. And it's got a code, so that's pretty cool. I did test my LED accent lights in my wiring job. I'll flip them on here. Hard to see in the daytime, but you can probably see these two right here. My wiring job apparently was good, and that'll do it. Hope this helps somebody, and let's get out in the wind. Have a good day. BCR signing out from the BCR garage. Later, guys.